WUSA 9 Weather Watch Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
I'm meteorologist Kaitlyn McGrath along with meteorologist Makayla Lucero, and we join you on this Monday evening because we have a weather watch alert and we are continuing to track a very active radar. We've seen a number of severe thunderstorm warnings over the past several hours, and we're continuing to closely monitor storms as they develop because we do have a very unstable atmosphere that is supporting these storms as they do become strong and severe, and we're watching all threats as we head throughout the evening. Damaging wind, large hail, even a few isolated tornadoes not out of the question. So I do want to start things off with where we have our newest severe thunderstorm warning. This is for parts of Fairfax, Loudoun, and Montgomery County until 7:30 this evening. Thankfully, no rotation being detected in this storm. That has been a common theme in a lot of the storms that we've seen develop so far this evening through parts of Frederick County, Carroll County, moving into Howard County as well. Right now, the strongest part of this storm in Loudoun County, just to the north and east of Sterling, Sugarland Road, Broad Run Farms, where you see that really deep shading of red along Route 28 and 7 down towards parts of Drainesville. That's where we have the heaviest rain right now. Also seeing some of that steadier rain move into parts of Rushville. Thankfully not seeing a lot of thunder and lightning associated with this storm. We always look for lightning as a strong indicator that storms are strengthening, but at a minimum producing some really heavy rain as it pushes east relatively slowly. We've seen a lot of the storms this evening moving at a pretty slow pace, pushing east northeast around 20 miles per hour. So that would put this storm into parts of Montgomery County as we head through the next 30 minutes to an hour into parts of Herndon just after 7 o'clock. Right now starting to see some of that heavier rain picking up, moving into Reston around 7:10. Rockville, you can expect at a minimum some moderate to heavy rain as we get closer to the 7:30 half hour, 7:30 in Olney. South Kensington moving in closer to 7:50. So again, we're watching all of these storms for further development. My biggest concern in this severe thunderstorm right now would be some locally damaging wind. Thankfully, again, not seeing rotation, but still seeing some significant straight line wind. Winds gusting upwards of 50, 60 miles per hour. Some small hail not out of the question, but over the past several radar scans, we really haven't seen much in terms of hail development. We still have some heavy rain over parts of Leesburg as well. Back into Loudoun County, we're seeing a little bit of a cluster of these storms being formed out of the outflow boundary of that storm that does have a severe thunderstorm warning on it. That's where you get some really rapidly cooling air as storms move through, and that helps trigger further storm development. So not seeing a whole lot of thunder and lightning in this cell, but you can see that one crack of lightning just working its way out of Loudoun County just to the east of Leesburg. Some really heavy rain along Route 15 down into 17 as well. We also have some heavier showers just off to the south and west through parts of South Fork, also in Loudoun County, and this is what we'll be continuing to watch as we head through the next several hours, really between now and about 9-10 o'clock tonight. That's going to be our window for further development of these thunderstorms. But if you're in North Fork, Leethtown, down into parts of Evergreen, you have some of that heavier rain you've been dealing with. And we're also monitoring this storm just to the south and east of Marshville. You can see some thunder and lightning picking up there. That's new just in the last 10 minutes. So again, always a sign of strengthening, but thankfully as these storms have been pushing off to the east, and as I mentioned, at a pretty slow pace around 20 miles per hour, we haven't seen much in terms of further intensification despite having no lack of instability. The atmosphere really is primed for these storms, and that's why we're really starting to see them develop just in the last hour or so. But you can see right now, again, just to the southwest really of Marshville over Vernon Mills, back towards parts of Condie down into Crestville. We have some of that heavier rain. So also want to let you know we're keeping an eye on the severe thunderstorm warning that's still impacting parts of Anne Arundel County, Baltimore County into Baltimore City and Howard as well. We were watching this storm as it originated in parts of Frederick, moved into Howard and Carroll County. So if you do have loved ones in the area, make sure you're checking in, making sure everyone is seeking proper shelter, because while these storms thankfully not showing much in terms of rotation indicating a possible tornado warning might be issued, they're still producing a lot of thunder and lightning, and we know a lot of people have outdoor plans. It is the holiday after all, and still, for many folks, it is a relatively nice evening. So if you're looking to fire up the grill, go ahead and do so. Just make sure you are closely watching these storms as they roll in. Download, of course, the WUSA 9 app, rather, if you haven't done so already, and you can track those storms right in the palm of your hand. We do have that tornado watch in effect until 11 o'clock tonight. I would not be surprised if they start to peel back this tornado watch as we continue to see storms move through. I do think by 9-10 o'clock we'll start to be in the clear in terms of further development, and by the time you check in at 11 o'clock this evening, really not expecting much on the map. So again, that's a tornado watch in effect until 11 p.m. With much more on the difference between a watch and a warning, I want to send things over to meteorologist Makayla Lucero. She's also going to talk much more about where people need to seek shelter if a tornado warning is issued where they live.
Yeah, that's right, Kaitlyn. We have watches and we have warnings right now across the radar. Now, a watch means that we have the ingredients to see some storms start to develop. When we have a watch issued, that is your cue to make sure you have a plan in place in case a storm happens. When we have a warning, that means that the storm is either about to happen or is currently happening. A warning means that plan that you made, you need to put it into action. So watch means watch out. We're watching for a few storms. A warning means that there is a storm happening and you need to keep yourself safe, seek shelter, and put that severe weather action plan into place as we move throughout the rest of the evening. Make sure you know what that plan looks like. So let's talk about where you should go in case there is a storm in your area. If you get a tornado warning, the best place for you to go is to a windowless interior room. If you have a basement, that's your best bet, but if not, you can head to a hallway or a bathroom, maybe a closet or a stairwell, anything to get you away from the outside walls of your home. Stay away from windows and stay away from doors. Again, a basement or a cellar is the best place for you to be. Underground is the safest spot. You don't want to be outside and you don't want to be near any windows, so make sure you get to the most windowless interior room of your home. If you're an apartment building, try to get to the lowest floor that you can and stay away from windows and doors there. Now, we've been seeing quite a few severe storms over the last several days. Now, what exactly makes a storm severe? We need one or two of these criteria to be met. So we need winds of 58 miles per hour or stronger, or we need hail 1 inch or larger. So when we say that there's a severe thunderstorm warning, one of these criteria are being met. We either have hail of 1 inch in diameter or we have winds of up to 58 miles per hour or stronger. So we need to make sure that we are taking these severe thunderstorm warnings pretty seriously, as these could be some very damaging winds within these storms. And most of those storms Kaitlyn was showing you just minutes ago had both the criteria. They had winds near 60 miles per hour and they had indications of hail at least 1 inch in diameter. So that gives you an idea of what we've been seeing out there for tonight. Here's what you can do right now to make sure that you are safe. Since most of us are in a watch, you gotta have a way to get your weather information. I recommend our WUSA 9 app. Whatever app you download though, make sure you allow location and notification services. Here's why. If there's a storm in your area, we'll send you an alert to let you know that there's a storm in your region. Now, I do want to mention for our WUSA 9 app, if you lose power, well, you can still watch our coverage on the app. All you got to do is open the app, scroll to the very bottom, and you'll see Watch Now. Just click on that, and you'll be able to watch our coverage if there is some of that tornadic activity later on tonight. Also know where you're going to go. Make sure you know where to go and make sure your kids know where to go in case there is a tornado warning in your area. Make sure your kids know exactly where in the home that they should be and start preparing now. If you've got bike helmets or maybe pillows, put those in your tornado safe spot so you can protect yourself just in case that tornado warning does come through your area. For a little bit more on what we're expecting for the rest of the night tonight, I'm going to send it back to meteorologist Kaitlyn McGrath.
Great reminders there, Makayla. Always good to have that conversation now so that you are prepared in the event that a tornado warning is issued. And when a severe thunderstorm warning is issued, Makayla just showed you the criteria, and we know that severe thunderstorm warned storms can produce a lot of damage as well. Don't wait for it to be a tornado warning before you seek that proper shelter. So really now, between 10 o'clock, that's our window for more of these scattered storms to develop. We're watching the potential for damaging wind and large hail. Those are my biggest concerns, but isolated tornadoes still still very much on the table. That's why we have a tornado watch until 11 o'clock tonight. So as Makayla mentioned, make sure you have a way to get weather information and know where you will go if you need to seek shelter. But we do want to talk about what to expect for the rest of the evening where we don't see these storms, because again, they will be scattered. Not everyone will get rain or severe weather tonight. And where we don't see storms develop, it's going to be a nice evening for any and all Memorial Day plans. We'll have mostly clear skies with temperatures falling through the 70s later tonight. It does look like, in fact, I just got a notification from the National Weather Service that they have canceled that tornado watch for some of our western counties. So I'll take you back and show you that updated watch map as soon as it comes through. But it was canceled for parts of Spotsylvania and Rappahannock County. Really no surprise there that they're starting to peel it back as the threat for isolated tornadoes starts to wane. So I do want to talk about what you need to know for the rest of the week, because we know a lot of folks heading back to work and school after the long holiday weekend tomorrow. And aside from where we see some of those storms develop, where we could have some patchy fog overnight, plan on waking up to nice sunshine Tuesday morning. Now, as we head throughout Tuesday afternoon, we'll be closely watching for some areas of light spotty rain. Not really concerned with storms tomorrow, but notice this is right around 3-4 o'clock. A few isolated areas of light to occasionally moderate rain. Wouldn't be entirely surprised if we see an embedded storm, but the atmosphere tomorrow much more stable than what we're dealing with right now. This is 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. We'll continue to track some of those light showers moving through, and then we'll clear skies out overnight. Start Wednesday off mostly clear, with the exception of, once again, some locally dense fog where we see some showers roll through later Tuesday evening. But then Wednesday, I'm a little bit more concerned with for some more widespread showers and a few more embedded thunderstorms developing, especially after lunchtime. This is between about 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we'll start to see some storms developing. Still not a strong signal for severe weather on Wednesday. Temperatures are going to be cooler. We don't have a whole lot of humidity, but we'll be watching carefully for any storms that could pack some locally heavy rain, frequent thunder and lightning, in addition to some potentially damaging wind. And that storm threat will stick around for Wednesday evening. But hey, once we clear out those storms, it is smooth sailing for the rest of the week. We are in for a gorgeous stretch of weather. We take out rain chances Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And we've got some pretty comfortable temperatures to go along with that as well. So we'll take a look at the 7-day forecast. Isolated showers or storms Tuesday afternoon and evening. More scattered storms expected on Wednesday. But hey, if you like the cooler temperatures, Thursday and Friday are your days to get outside. It looks absolutely gorgeous. But hey, if you like the warmer weather, we've got your forecast as well, with temperatures that will head back into the 80s over the weekend, mid to upper 80s as we look ahead toward the start of next week. So I do want to show you that updated tornado watch map. And again, you can see it peeled back for parts of Spotsylvania and Rappahannock County, but still in effect for everywhere you see highlighted there in red until 11 o'clock tonight. We'll give you another check on radar and see what we're tracking in terms of storms as they continue to push through. Again, that one severe thunderstorm warning that still includes Loudoun County, though the strongest part of that storm has moved into parts of Fairfax County and Montgomery County. You can see all of that lightning just to the north of Reston, over Deanwood, Great Falls, Drainesville. That's where we have the strongest part of that storm. But this is pushing east into Montgomery County. So if you're in parts of Glen Echo, Potomac, back into Rushville, you too will see some of this storm activity moving in relatively shortly. We'll take you back here and time out that storm for you. Again, that's moving through parts of Loudoun, Fairfax, and Montgomery County, pushing off to the east pretty slowly, around 20-25 miles per hour. That's going to put it into Rockville pretty shortly here, starting to see some of that heavier rain already picking up in Gaithersburg, crossing 270 as we head through the next 30 minutes or so. Again, moving into Rockville closer to 726, so give it about 15 minutes or so, and I would definitely make sure you're heading inside, not only to seek shelter from the heavy rain, but some of that thunder and lightning that could follow with it. Moving through Montgomery Mall, so a lot of folks probably going to be dodging to their cars if they're leaving the mall closer to 7:30, moving into Garrett Park closer to 7:41. And we're continuing to keep an eye on all of the storm activity that you can see following behind it. Germantown, Poolsville, Leesburg, still seeing some heavy rain, thunder, and lightning. Wouldn't be surprised if we do see more severe thunderstorm warnings issued for those storms. But again, the bigger concern is looking like straight line wind. Nothing really standing out on radar as rotating per se, and that is what would trigger a tornado warning if we were to get any additional tornado warnings later this evening. Aldie down into Purcellville, still seeing some of that moderate to heavy rain. And I'm also keeping an eye on the storm just to the south of Marshall as we continue to track that, pushing off to the east winds still right around 25 miles per hour, bringing some of that heavy rain, thunder, and lightning right across the 17 corridor into parts of 66 Old Tavern, seeing some of that locally heavy rain as well. So we'll continue to monitor these storms. Right now, not seeing much in terms of rotation for that severe thunderstorm warning that covers Anne Arundel, Baltimore, Baltimore City, and Howard. So if you're traveling up into the area or have maybe loved ones heading back down 95 or 395, continue to keep an eye on that storm. But I really think this is our last line before things start to quiet down a little bit later this evening. Makayla and I will continue to track these storms and bring you any updates as we get them in, whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning. Just make sure you keep an eye on the WUSA 9 app as we head throughout the next several hours. And we'll see you back on WUSA 9 News at 11.
WUSA 9 Weather Watch Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.